It'd be a bit depressing.
Really?
Well, just because you think, you expect fucking thousands every time, and you come and there's half a dozen people.
Yeah.
And you think, what? Wake up, Britain, for fuck's sake, you've been fucked up the arse.
Right. Well, I mean, there are more people than we thought, and there are people coming all the time.
Yeah. No, it won't be as bad as one fears, but it's never as good as one would hope.
It's funny, isn't it? You keep thinking that it's going to be like Iraq.
Yeah.
And it's not. So where is? Oh, here he is!
Hey, yes, the rockin' reverend. Right, rock in the house. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Chris.
Right, you're live.
Oh,
actually,
am I?
No, you're not live. But I mean, no, you need to come down a bit.
I
Keith.
need to come down a bit, right?
Yeah, or else the automatic express. So, thoughts and feelings.
Well, I haven't been on many, in fact none, of this kind of march before, and it's quite an interesting experience so far.
Right, how long have you been here?
About half an hour.
Okay.
There's about 1 million different agendas running.
Yeah.
So how the left is ever going to make its point clearly, I have no idea.
No, that's true.
I mean, it's also evidently heavily populated by groups that nobody will ever vote for or support.
Yeah.
So it's so far not encouraging.
Okay. Well, I guess my feeling is that protesting from whatever. Another way of putting it, Keith. Actually, do you want to hold it? And
okay.
Talk,
This is what he really wants.
Yeah, this is the real point.
Yeah.
Isn't the real point that there are so many angles? The government is doing so many things wrong.
True.
That there is no shortage of vested interests who want to criticise the government.
True.
But so you might expect to see, from people representing refugees, people representing people who can't eat and heat their houses, no shortage of complainants and protesters.
True. That's true.
But there does need to be some kind of integration, and it doesn't appear to be any.
And it would be helpful if there was one very clear message from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such as general election now.
Well,
but that doesn't appear to be the case so far.
Yeah. I mean, I, as you know, have crafted this because I think that it's the single policy that the Labour Party needs to get behind.
This London old fart agrees.
Say it to the camera.
No.
But you agree?
Yeah, I don't know who you represent. I hate being filmed.
Okay, all
I
right.
just like sounding off when it occurs to me.
No, that's great. Okay, I won't film you. But old farts need to stand in solidarity against these bastards.
Yes.
The guy basically went, oh, can you hold that?
Oh, he tricked you. I asked nicely, did that?
Have a good one.
Check the work.
We're an asset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, thank you.
That's all right.
Go back a bit, Keith, because this is the main man. So, do you want to talk through the difference between the two posts that you're carrying there, Keith?
Yeah, one's yours and one's the one I was given. No, what we're trying to bring here is a little perspective, a little humour, but actually we also do want to see wages up, bills down and the Tories out.
Pull it down so I can see it.
There we are. We're for all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Britain is broken.
Sorry.
I haven't seen the size of it so
Say hi to the camera.
So look to the camera.
Say hi, yeah, it's my first time here.
Thank you.
yes, there's a penalty there.
Tax the rich, not the poor. He said we won't take it anymore. Tax the rich, not the poor. We won't take it anymore. Tax the rich, not the poor. We won't take it anymore.
Like you say, when she can realise I fucked up, and say to them I fucked up.
That was one of the first things.
I'll catch you up.
Just like us. You should be ashamed. All of
Labour, in the RMT, in Unite the Union, in the NEU, in the CWU, in PCS, in GMB, FBU, Unison, ASLEF, to all of them who are standing up for their terms and conditions and their safety. Good afternoon and welcome to Trafalgar Square. I am the National Secretary of the People's Assembly, and this demonstration today is a demonstration against austerity. It's a demonstration against the cost of living crisis, and it is for a general election. This demonstration is a protest against the greed of those who take millions and billions of pounds from the pockets of working class people, and they make our lives miserable in the process of doing so. And we are here to stand up against the political class who are complicit and who entrench those conditions. But we have to acknowledge this. It is not about individuals, is it? This is how the economic system works. It is the job of the economic system to derive profit ruthlessly from working class people, from our labour, from our resources, from the planet, irrespective of the cost to every single person here. There is no morality to the system, not an ounce of morality to the capitalist system, no moral wrangling. There isn't a drop of sweat that drips from the millionaires and the billionaires' foreheads when they think about what they do next to get even more profit. The ruthlessness of that ideology pulls wealth further and further into the hands of a tiny minority of people. And to do that, they also have to pull power further and further away from us. The Tories in government are propping up this failing economic system at the expense of us all. And we see these most brutal attacks on our communities, in our homes, and the strain is felt by us in our workplaces, in our homes and in our communities. And at the People's Assembly, we want us to take a long view of austerity, a long view of what they've done to us. Let's think about it. Children's centres, libraries, swimming pools, leisure centres, cut, gone, shut down. The social security system, and big up to Deepak, by the way, who've been campaigning on this for years. The social security system decimated before our very eyes. The pay of working class people attacked every year. Rapid outsourcing and privatisation, and millions of people in poverty. And alongside that, a fundamental attack on our civil liberties, and we're going to hear about that today. The ability to vote for a Prime Minister just being one example, a tiny minority of people in that building down there deciding on all of our behalves who is going to be our Prime Minister, to impose another round of brutal austerity, but also the police crime courts and sentencing bill, the public order legislation, the Nationality and Borders Act, the agency labour, all destined to try and stifle and break our struggle against them. They have become more authoritarian as our conditions worsen. And for what? For what? It's to maintain the status quo. So we have to stand up, we have to rise up, and we have to make them feel our power. I'm going to be chairing this rally today, and this demonstration is a very important marker to say as a class that we are getting organised, because it is only when working class people come together as an organised force that we will put pressure on the economic and political system. We need them to take notice. We need them to be scared of us. I want that political class to be scared of us. I want them to feel our power, and ultimately they will feel our power, won't they? They're going to feel our power in our workplaces, in our communities and on the streets. So, a general election is really just the start. Our discontent goes much deeper, doesn't it? And so do the answers. And we must admit, and this is an important point, that a demonstrably weak opposition led by Keir Starmer, when in government, will be faced with the same economic conditions and the same contradictions that this government are faced with, and trying to appeal to the right-wing press and the markets. So when it comes to it, if they are on government, they will feel our power as well. We're interested in a world free of poverty, free of war. We can imagine a world where no child is hungry, where no worker is broken. But to see that and to feel that and to make it happen, we must organise and take that power for ourselves. We are in the battle of our lives, for our livelihoods, for our planet. We will rise to that challenge in every single sense, in every community, in ruthless defence of our class.
Let me first of all, before I speak, I want to send solidarity to the courageous women in Iran who are fighting for their freedom now. And I want to send solidarity to a political prisoner in Belmarsh, Julian Assange. When they ask you today, why did you come? Say you came because there are 14 million people in this country living in poverty. Tell them you came because there are 5 million children in poverty. 70% of those children are in households where people are in work. So that cries the whole issue of low pay, poverty pay. That's why we're here. But we're also here to commemorate every one of the 330,000 people who died as a result of austerity. And yes, to call the Tories out. That was social murder by the Tories of all those who died under austerity. People's anger now is mobilising, and the Tories know that. That's why they're trying the same old tactics of divide and rule. That's why they appointed Cruella Braverman to target asylum seekers. So let's make it clear to the Tories. Let's make it clear. Asylum seekers are welcome here. And they know across our labour and trade union movement, workers are mobilising. That's why in 2 weeks' time they want to introduce more austerity. They want to introduce legislation that undermines our right to strike and demonstrate. Well, if they want class war, let's give them it. Bring on the strikes, bring on the picket lines, bring on the demonstrations, bring on the occupations, and we will defeat them in solidarity. Solidarity.
Hello, Trafalgar Square, and hello, London, and welcome to everyone that's come down in the rain. We're a little bit sorry about the disruption. You couldn't get a train maybe today, but I want to guarantee you one thing. Our dispute is paused, the action is paused to allow for talks, but this dispute is not over. We are pressing on for a square deal for our members on pay, conditions and job cuts, and we will not stop till our members decide that this dispute is resolved, and they will take the decision. And if we don't get a deal off Network Rail and the train operators, we will strike and strike again until we bring them to the table and get a deal. And the message has to go out from this meeting, in every town and village, in every county of this country, right across the UK, in every working class community. We are going to organise in our trade unions. We are going to organise in our campaign groups. We're going to organise in every church, every town hall, every mosque, every gurdwara, every temple, anywhere the workers are, we will be there. We will be there in every campaign, whether it's a library or whether it's our NHS. We're going to save our services, we're going to save our welfare state, and we're going to kick these Tories out of Parliament. And the message has got to be to every politician that seeks to represent the workers of this country. You've got to sort out which side you're on in these disputes. Do you sympathise and stand with the working class? Stand with the strikers? Stand on the picket lines? Or do you wait for your opportunity trying to be some kind of neutral? There are no neutrals in this struggle. We need everyone who declares themselves to be a progressive, to be a Democrat, to stand up and say no more anti-trade union laws, no more minimum service levels, no suppression of workers' movement. We've got to get everyone in a trade union, every trade union campaigning, and every trade union taking on the bosses at every opportunity to defend our people and to defend our class. And when we're ready to do that, we will have a movement that's unstoppable, because no matter what they think, whether they're the media, the commentators, the politicians, they will always hate us, but we don't care. If the workers are united, we are an unstoppable force, and that force is going to change this country for the better. So everyone united, no division on the base of race, religion, occupation, or wherever you come from in this country. No division on the basis that you might have had to come to find a better life. Every worker is welcome. No one is illegal. We are a united working class, and we are going to win for our people. Thank you very much. Solidarity.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, every one of you, for being here today. Every one of you that's come out to show solidarity. Solidarity with those unions in dispute at the present time, defending their members and trying to get a decent pay rise. Solidarity with all those campaigns of disability rights, trying to make sure they are part of our campaign. Solidarity with those homeless campaigns that are here. Solidarity with those campaigns that are fighting for a decent living wage and social justice within our society. And also solidarity with all those that have sought a place of safety on our shores and have been so disgustingly treated by this government. We today here in Trafalgar Square are a voice for humanity and a voice for unity of all of those struggles. That is what makes us strong, and that is what makes us different. We heard earlier at the start of the rally of the fantastic result that Barnet Unison had achieved by their action, by their solidarity action of making sure that one of their members did not lose their job. And they won that dispute. All over the country, there are many other disputes going on. Don't be afraid. Join in and support. Support TfL workers next Thursday when they're in dispute. But also those like the Bakers Food and Allied Workers Union members at Samworth's in Leicester who are campaigning for union recognition. Join with them. Join with all the others in strengthening our movement. Next week, a week after, the government is going to produce yet another budget. The last budget promised to borrow lots of money, to give lots of money to those that already had humongous amounts of money. The Prime Minister lasted a couple of weeks, and the Chancellor even less than that. And we now have a new Prime Minister and a new Chancellor. I don't have high hopes of this budget coming up. What I suspect is it'll be another tax giveaway to the super rich. It'll be another pass-by on the other side for all those that are avoiding tax and putting their money into tax havens. I suspect it will be another attack on local government and health, and it won't do anything for the wages of those people that desperately need a wage rise. The cause of inflation is not wage rises.
the cause of inflation is tax evasion, tax avoidance, and overcharging by the energy companies and many others. They've found money to bail out the energy companies and factor in a 100% rise in prices. That will only last until April. Goodness knows what happens after that. There is, however, an answer of doing things in a different way. You invest in people. You raise wages. You raise benefits. You stop the profiteering by the energy companies and take them into public ownership. And you do the same with the railway companies, with Royal Mail, and those water companies that have been ripping us off for 30 years, polluting our rivers, destroying our natural environment, all on the altar of profits to distant hedge funds. That is the reality of what modern Britain is about. Now, how do we get rid of them and how do we change it? The answer is here in this square. It is the unity of all of those campaigns and people that want to see a different, better country, and one that works in solidarity with people around the world. To build that world of peace and justice, not of war. To build that world of unity, not of division. Last weekend, I had the great privilege of going to Brazil to observe the election. And I think we should, from here in London in Trafalgar Square in Britain, say congratulations to Lula and the coalition that won that election. And you know what? They didn't win that election by triangulation and appealing to the right-wing media. They won that election by the solidarity of the trade unions, the urban homeless, the landless people, the environmental campaigners. And as a result, President Lula narrowly won that election on a pledge of a different approach to the environment, a green industrial revolution. It's in our hands. We can build the world we want. We can make the world a better place in global solidarity as well as in our own solidarity. Our media will always seek to disempower us and tell us we don't matter. Well, they've got another thing coming. We are very, very many, and they are very, very few. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jeremy Corbyn. The thing about our struggle is that we can never, ever give up. And an organisation, a campaign organisation that has certainly never done that, despite the consistent, over decades-long attack upon them, are disabled people against the cuts. Let's hear it for Paula Peters, disabled people against the cuts.